Introduce our special guest this evening, Martin Landau.
Hi.
Hi. First, I want to read a bio on him. Okay.
Wow. Nice group.
It's a great group. They're all here for you. A few to see the movie.
I see friends of mine out there. Lots of them.
Well, can I read a little of this bio? Because not everybody knows about all the things you're involved in.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Martin started his career in the 1950s. He attended the Actors Studio and became good friends with, I'll let you fill in the blanks.
What's that?
James Dean.
Yeah, he was my best friend.
Oh, wow.
But go ahead. I don't know if you do
Okay,
it.
actually, Martin was one of 2,000 applicants who auditioned for the Actors Studio in 1955, and only he and Steve McQueen were accepted.
That's right.
See, they don't know this stuff.
So far, you're on.
In 1959, he made his first major film appearance in a supporting role in Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. He played regular roles in television series Mission Impossible, for which he received several Emmy Award nominations and a Golden Globe, and Space 1999. Landau received the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, as well as his first nomination for Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, as his role as a Jewish businessman in Tucker, The Man in His Dream. He received his second Oscar nomination for his appearance as Judah Rosenthal in Woody Allen's Crimes and Misdemeanors. Oh, wow. See?
You're exhausting me.
We're only going through a little bit of his list. I'm telling you, look him up on IMDb. It'll blow your mind. But his performance in the supporting role of Bela Lugosi in Tim Burton's Ed Wood earned him the Academy Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Golden Globe Award. And I actually worked with Martin on Ed Wood. We were just kind of reconnecting
You
over
showed
that.
me pictures I'd never seen before.
I know, I was your nurse when you were in the scene in the hospital.
That's right.
And there's a famous line that Martin had from that movie, but I can't
Go
repeat
ahead.
it.
You can repeat it.
No, I
Yes,
can't
you
repeat
can.
it. But it was about Boris Karloff. They can go watch the movie.
Okay. It's pretty awful, isn't it?
Well, you're brilliant in that movie. Anyway, he continues to perform in film and television and now heads the Hollywood branch of the Actors Studio. And here's a little piece of trivia. During World War II, Martin's Austrian-born father helped to rescue relatives from the Nazis. In late 1939, he assisted in smuggling out 8 ancient Torahs from Europe under Hitler's regime and delivered them to his Orthodox shul in Brooklyn. You're on.
All of that is absolutely true. You haven't said one falsehood yet, which is, most of the time I'm misquoted. Half the things I say are taken out of context and I mean the opposite of what I've said. So thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Would you like me to say, this is a wonderful movie and I'm glad you all showed up. I've been doing some Q&As for this picture because I think in 10 years you're not going to be able to see this kind of a movie because it'll become a period piece. People who were old enough to be alive at that time are my age. And audiences and actors who can play these parts are dwindling. So hopefully some of the young filmmakers will continue to make Holocaust movies, but this is kind of the last hurrah. And I'm happy to announce this film. We shot it in Canada, and about 8 or 9 months ago, Adam McGowan and I had not worked together in 28 years. And it was great to get back together. And when I was a young actor, a lot of Canadians William Shatner, who was an up-and-coming young Shakespearean actor. And we all knew each other in those days. Sidney Pollack and Johnny Cassavetes and all the young people, many of whom are gone today. Some of which can't remember what they had for breakfast either. I'm trying to create a touch of levity, but not a great deal. Anyway, I'm happy you're going to see this film because it's a film that resonates, and because it shows so many kind of episodic pieces, you get a feeling for the Holocaust that you wouldn't get from another film. It also it's just an entertainment as well as a meaningful movie. Christopher was wonderful to work with, even on days when he wasn't called. We had telephone conversations, and he'd come in and be the other end of the telephone, you know, on a day off. I mean, that's a real mensch. Anyway,
Was there,
you have some questions to ask
I
me.
had just a few questions about, well, I think you addressed the issue of what attracted you to this film.
Well, what attracted me was, it resonated when I read it. I mean, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And it also has some problems as an actor because of the structure of the movie. I'm not going to tell you why, and it's not important that you know, but there's some problem in playing this role that Adam called me for because he felt I could do it, and that was very flattering. I won't say any more about that, but it has to do with seeing it more than once, and basically seeing something else.
Can you address a little bit about your preparation without revealing too much?
Well,
I mean, they haven't seen it, so it doesn't matter.
My character happens to have been a fellow who worked for Simon Wiesenthal. And back maybe 20 years ago, I played Simon
Yeah.
in a movie called Max and Helen, which I shot in Budapest. And spent 24 hours with Simon Wiesenthal, trying to capture him and told him some jokes, terrible jokes, and wanted to see his responses to things. And I asked him a question at the time, too. I said, if you hadn't done what you did, would anyone else have? He said, no. Everyone else wanted to forget. It was too heinous a memory to live with. And he said, I had to do it because no one else would have done it. And then, of course, I did a couple of documentaries for the Wiesenthal Center. One called Echoes That Remain, which was about the death of all the little towns and shtetls in Europe during the Nazi regime. And I did all the voices of the men and also the narration. And Miriam Margolis did all the women. And we did that. And then I did another commercial piece that the Wiesenthal Center did called, I forget the name of that one, but Morgan Freeman did the narration, and I played all the emotional men. All of them. It was about the Jews not having been taken into countries after the war, and many winding up in Shanghai because no countries would accept them after the war, and they roamed around in boats and were turned down even by the United States of America. So that's an interesting documentary as well. And then I did one called Shanghai Ghetto, which is about the Jews living in Shanghai, which the Chinese did accept them after the war, even though they were fighting the Japanese at the time. And that's an interesting documentary.
I didn't realize you were doing that. Yeah. Well, that actually leads me to the next question.
Yes.
About you're talking about some of the films that you've been involved in as a narrator, documentaries and stuff, and playing Simon Wiesenthal. You've played many roles in your lifetime, in your career, but you've also played a lot of Jewish characters.
Not just in recent years. I mean, you know, when I first came to Hollywood, I did a lot of Hispanic characters, a lot of Native Americans, Comancheros. Oh yes, I played many Mexican characters. You know, I think the Mexicans who worked with me hated me at the time. But it would be politically incorrect to cast a young actor in those roles today. So it was helpful for me because I thought about the characters and tried to dignify them as opposed to play cliches, which they were depicted as most of the time. I mean, Indians were bad people, and Mexican bandits were bad people. So unless you were the series lead, you were the bad guy. But I tried to bring humanity to some of those characters as well. What other questions you have for me?
You know, you started to say that in more recent years you've been playing Jewish characters.
I have. You know, in Tucker I played a Jewish character, and I just finished one with Paul Sorvino in Boston for 6 weeks. Paul and I played two old guys in a nursing home. I played a Jewish doctor, and he played an Italian fruit peddler. And we become very close friends. And it was directed by a Harvard doctor, professor, who wrote the script. And the reason both of us did it was because he depicted this kind of a retirement home as true, the way people really felt in these places. And it's a lovely little movie. And Paul, for instance, the best thing he's ever done. And I think it's one of my best ones. So, but I just finished that, and that's being edited as we speak. So I'm still perpendicular and working, which is kind of wonderful.
Well, that's good. We'll have to have you back for the Q&A for that film. We'll have to have you back for the Q&A for that film.
Well, tonight I really hope you enjoy the film, and I won't say any more about it. We've gotten interesting reviews from Pete Hammond and Leonard Maltin, and some, you mentioned the fact that it got a 10-minute standing ovation in Europe. And it's, along with telling you stories about the Holocaust, it also is an entertainment, which I think a motion picture has to be for an audience. It sits still, and I hope you like it, and thanks for coming. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.